Hello, and I'm sorry I was working. I have a lot of stuff to do, and I made it 1:15, but when I get in the zone and I'm doing stuff, I'm doing research, I can't stop. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's talk about our suspect, and we're going to talk about a few things tonight. We're going to talk about our suspect who abducted allegedly Charlotte Sena, and talk about who he is. Is he a serial killer? Has he done this before? Did he know the family? All the things everybody's looking to find out. Then there's also a really sad case of this poet, a beloved poet, and this activist in New York City. He and his girlfriend were returning home from a wedding, and he was killed right in front of her. Horrible. So I want to talk about that. And let me see where you guys are, because I don't even know whether I have to close some tabs here. Let me just do that real quick. And I don't know where you guys are. I have too many tabs open. I rode, what did I do? 8 miles today. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Sorry. I'm trying to find. Nope. Is this it? So beautiful day in the neighborhood. I have to wait. I talked to my brother today. He sounded really good. He was making some jokes. He's very lucky to be alive. He's probably alive because he took baby aspirin, and he had something with his heart, so he was on a blood thinner. So that's probably the only reason he's alive, or he would have had a massive stroke. And he was basically walking around with this for about a day and a half. He said he got home from work one night and he was like, I don't feel good. So he went to bed, and then the next day he still wasn't feeling right, and he was noticing like he was a little bit, like his balance was going a little bit and stuff. But it was Sunday, so he didn't do anything. He didn't have work or anything. And then Monday morning when he woke up, he said, I didn't remember my name. He didn't know where he was. He didn't know who he was. And I said, what did you do? And he said, I went to the neighbor and I just said, hey, I don't feel okay. I think I'm having a stroke. Can you call 911? And I called 911 and they brought him to the hospital. And I said, did you have a really bad headache? And he goes, yeah, my headache it wasn't really bad. He goes, but they put a screw in my head that to do the drain or whatever. He goes, that gave me a really bad headache. He's laughing. So no, he said he's very lucky, and like I said, he's in very good spirits. And they took that out. He said they were doing, when I called, we talked for about, I don't know, about 15 minutes or so, and then they had to do some more tests with him. So thank you for prayers, thoughts. That's nice. Okay. And hey, okay. Hi, Cammie. All right. So I just wanted to update that. That's good. And thank God, right? All right. So and he didn't have he wasn't able to move his right side at all. He couldn't even lift his arm up when he got there. Now he can move. Yeah. His memory is all back, and they said that when he went in, his face was drooping on the one side, and now it's not anymore. So yeah, and he sounds good, so like normal. All right, let me get to we're going to find out about this guy, right? All right, so let's find out who the freak this guy is. I don't know if White Angel is here. White Angel, check my email. You'll see my picture. Okay. All right, so let's take a look. He looks beyond scary and freaky, right? Come on there, buddy. Why is that my picture open up? Okay. I'm trying to get the picture of this guy for you. Not that. It's got a lot of What is up with this? Come on. What the heck is going on with this? Doesn't want to give me his graphic. Okay. All right, we'll get it. Hang on a minute. There we go. Okay, so there he is. He's 46 years old. And we have some more details. So little Charlotte Sena, she disappeared, at the state park near Schenectady in upstate New York on Saturday evening. She was riding bikes with friends, and then she wanted to do a loop alone. She didn't return back. Parents got right into action. So this is Craig N. Ross Jr., 46, of Ballston Spa. That's located about 170 miles north of Manhattan. He was arrested on first-degree felony kidnapping around 6:30 p.m. on Monday. He's 6'4", 275 pounds. And he tried to resist the officers who arrested him, but of course he was not successful because they got him. He was taken into custody. He did suffer some very minor injuries, but it was relatively minor. Nothing too big, but there was a scuffle when they tried to arrest him. Police say additional charges are expected, and they are still trying to determine if anyone else was connected with the girl's kidnapping. They found the little 9-year-old hidden inside a cabinet inside Ross's camper, and remember, he lived behind his mother's house. He left a ransom note at the girl's family's house, and that's how they got the fingerprint. He put it in the mailbox. He drove there, put it in the mailbox. Crazy. The contents of that note has not been released. The ransom note had his DNA and fingerprints on it. That's how they were able to find him, and his information was in the system because he had a 1999 DWI. A family friend has come forward and said that they believe the kidnapping was premeditated. It said it's obvious this person had some premeditated aspirations. I think he may have been aware of them. Officials have not confirmed what happened to Sena after she was kidnapped, but she appeared to be outwardly physically unharmed at the time. That's all the family wishes to reveal at this time. They are united. She's in good hands, said the Governor Hochul. The man, Ross Jr., was not a registered sex offender. Now, there was rumors going around on the tubes that he was. So there you have it. The motive is yet to be revealed. He lived 2 miles from the family. The governor said, when asked what was the biggest takeaway from the search, she said, "You can never be too careful with your kids. Pay attention to where they're at and what they're doing. Things can happen in an instant. You think they're safe doing that at 9 years old, but you got to be cognizant and be paying attention to things around you and surroundings all the time. These things happen in a hurry. Fortunately, this ended in the right way." The suspect was arraigned at the Milton Town Court in New York. He's being held at the Saratoga County Correctional Facility without bail. New York State Police said they had multiple agencies working together to find Charlotte. After she was located, they said, "We cannot emphasize enough how appreciative we are for the support we received from Charlotte's community, friends, and family." Okay, now we have a little more. So his son is speaking out. The suspect's son. Speaking from the home, Joshua told the media that he and his sister, that the two understand the gravity of this situation. He went on to confirm that his father is in jail. "We want nothing to do with him. I couldn't give an F if the dude dropped dead tomorrow. I couldn't care less. He's disgusting. He's gross," Joshua said of his father. "He should die. I couldn't care less. I couldn't give a rat's arse what happens." Show me how old the son is. Let me see here. Okay, so police visited Ross's home in upstate New York, where his son, Joshua, was captured on camera by TMZ. And that's what his son said. Okay, let's see about this now. All right, so let's take a look at where she was found, okay? This right here. Come on now. Come on now. Right there. That's the camper that the police stormed. They found Charlotte in there in a cabinet. Let's see what else we can... just met with his DWI. So he had the DWI. So it's like he had nothing since that DWI. And I know there's a lot of talk now. Was he a serial killer? Was he this? Was he that? Why do we think he was a serial killer? You know, I don't know. Things go crazy, but I think how quickly this guy got caught bringing a ransom note, I just don't think he's very, you know, that he does this a lot. I think this might, I don't know, he might be really wacky. Like, what possessed him to do this? I don't know. To find out more in his life, you know, has he ever, like, what about these kids? Where's the ex-wife? There's a lot of questions, so let's see if we can find out anything more about this guy. All right. The best place to go find this out, let's see here. All right, let's see. So here we have some little more than this. He was arrested. He lived on Barrett Road in Milton, New York. He lived in a camper behind his mother's house on his mother's property. At 4:20 a.m. on Monday morning, we talked about this before, he drove up to Charlotte Sena's parents' home. He left a note inside the mailbox, and that was covered with DNA and his fingerprint. So if you think this guy is like some master serial killer, I would say no. He is not a registered sex offender. Again, the little girl was taken to the Albany Medical Center after being found. Okay, let's see here. Investigators are believed to be focused on the theory that Charlotte was pulled into a vehicle against her will, or she was dragged off into the woods. And then when they found her bike standing up with the kickstand engaged, you know? Charlotte was cycling alone on Loop A of the Moreau Lake State Park in New York, okay? She with her friends, she decided she's going to take that loop by herself. We know all this, right? But here's Charlotte's family. She was younger in that picture. She has an older sister and a younger sister. is really not. No, that's why I want to go and see if we can go to one of my favorite. Okay. So everybody, crazy. Come on. Oh my goodness. All right. Let me just get rid of some of these things. So I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot more in recent days, and I wouldn't doubt the parents will sit down with some media, explain a little more about what happened and how it happened, and people that knew this guy will start coming out and start talking about him, and his son seemed to have horrendous things to say, so I can't even imagine. Okay, let me just get my phone. You know what I'm going to just do? When I tease my computer and I say I'm just going to do it from my phone, I'm just going to do it from my phone. I'm going to phone it in. Okay, I'm going to tell you about them. Let me see here. So, let's go over here. I'm going to go to Craig. All right, so let's see. Neighbors. Let's hear what the neighbors describe him as, okay? Carol Brown, who lives a few homes down from the property on Barrett Road in Milton, said, and I quote, "I had been hoping and praying for the last 48 hours, and I was beginning to lose hope." She's lived on the road for more than 30 years. Around 6:20, 6:25, the police came flying by in the helicopters, and it was just like out of a movie. She said she learned what the commotion was from posts on social media. I quote again, "First of all, I was very happy, but then I couldn't believe that it was on our street. I still can't wrap my head around it." The neighbor, then we have another neighbor who did not want to appear or on camera, I guess, or give his name, said that he wasn't surprised to learn Ross is accused of kidnapping, and described him as angry and a loner. The neighbor from the Barrett Road location says Ross approached him about a year ago, asking him if he wanted to purchase the Circle Drive property, because that is a property that is listed as his home in court documents, 13 Circle Drive in Porter Corners. The neighbor said Ross said he needed the money and said he was only able to work part-time. The neighbor declined to buy it. The investigation is ongoing, and there could be more charges for Ross in the coming days. Let's see what else we've got. Okay, so Joshua Ross, the son of Craig, expressed no hesitation to convey the depths of his emotion, saying, "But he's in jail. We want nothing to do with him. I wouldn't give an F if the dude dropped dead tomorrow." His sister shared a similar sentiment. She said, "He's disgusting. He's gross. He's dead to me. I couldn't care less. That's how I think. I couldn't give a rat's arse as to what happens to him." You got that on video? Upon the execution of a search warrant at Craig Ross Jr.'s house, the ensuing scene further intensified by the arrival of his children, Joshua and his sister, whose candid interaction with journalists disclosed a poignant detachment and disdain towards their father. You could feel their anger and see their revulsion. Let's see what else here. I don't know what I think. Was his mother still alive, and did she have anything to say? Let's see. Let's see what we've got here. The governor of New York said a vehicle that was registered to Ross led investigators to a double-wide house in Ballston Spa. That's where the suspect's mother lives, and he lived behind the residence in a camper. He did give the SWAT people some resistance. He did suffer some very minor injuries. Charlotte was found in a small closet space in the camper's bedroom. Charlotte was not wearing the same clothes she had on when she disappeared. She was dressed in an adult-sized sweatshirt when she was found. Oh no. The suspect's mother was interviewed. The mother seemed to be in shock. Ross was not a camper at this state park. At this time of year, visitors can come in and out of the park without registering. Allen said it remains unclear. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see here. The governor said the house where Ross was arrested is about 2 miles from the Sena's residence, but it's not known at this time whether he knew Charlotte or had her under surveillance for any length of time. Following his arrest, Ross was questioned at the New York State Police Barracks in Latham, New York, and he was arraigned at the Milton Town Court. Details of his interrogation were not released. He was appointed a public defender. His next court appearance is scheduled for October 17th. Additional charges are anticipated. The governor said the investigation is still active and more search warrants were being executed. We want to make sure he is not connected to any other cases, so that's why it's still an ongoing investigation. As of right now, he has not been linked to any other crimes other than that DWI. Okay, so that's what we have from him. Let me go to the chat and see if you guys want to say anything about anything. Hi, Julie W. Interest with Beth. Hi, Linda L. Linda L. How are you? Phil Farmentino. Hello. Guess who? Were the cops watching the victim's home? Yes, they were. Then they saw him deliver that note. They were most certainly watching it. Yes, they did. Okay, is that true? This guy that took her was a local mailman. No, I did not hear that. I heard that he tried to sell a property to someone last year, said he couldn't work full-time or something. I would want to know what could be buried on that property. He must have had some reason. Yeah, Barb, but wouldn't you think with his going to the house and putting in a ransom note with his fingerprints and his DNA that I don't think he's some master, criminal. He sounds like a weird. Yeah, Jamie Kloss. That kind of sounds like that, doesn't it, Tawanda? It does. Hi, White Angel. White Angel, did you get my email? Okay. So let me go over here. I'll just look and see if I see anything about a mailman, but I don't believe so. Let me check. Let's see. Let's see if he was. Oh, let's see if he was. Do, 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 do. Okay, so they say, according to WNYT Channel 13, that Craig Nelson Ross Jr. is a mailman. But I didn't see that from the governor in the press release, but I also see here that he has multiple sclerosis. Let's see here. He appears to have deep roots in the area. So, according to Facebook posts, a woman said she was the mother of Ross's son, Joshua, who plays high school football in the area. She wrote a photo of Ross and their son in his football uniform and said, even though we're not together, we love our son very much. But is that true? There's always a lot of people that come forward and say, well, I don't know, you got to verify. Okay, so let's see what happened. According to the governor, his mother owns a home on Barrett Road where police were believed to be searching. The property contained a double wide where Ross's mother lived. The suspect lived in a camper behind it. The property on Barrett Road that lists to Ross's mother contains a mobile home that is about 980 square feet per the property records. Okay, so now here's some other Hold on a minute. He has past arrests for aggravated harassment and criminal obstruction of breathing. The governor did not explain his full criminal history. Police records. Show that he was arrested in 2016 for second-degree aggravated harassment. Let's see here. Saratogian. What does it say? April 19th, 2016. On the police blotter there, it says aggravated harassment. Craig N. Ross, 38 years old, of Corinth, New York, was arrested on a warrant at 2:35 a.m. April 18th on Lake Avenue, charging him with second-degree aggravated harassment, a misdemeanor. So he's got that. Okay. What in my... Okay. Let's go. We have something else too. All right. Something else. He has multiple sclerosis and was described as a recluse. Let's see. Neighbors said he just moved onto his mother's property because his MS had worsened. They said he was quiet. He recently covered he lived in an RV, okay? The RV's windows with a tarp. Uh-oh. It wasn't dark. It was right around dinner time. Oh, that's when Charlotte was going biking. Let's see here. So you put tarps on the window of the RV. I wanted to put the RV picture up. And my Chrome just closed. My Chrome just closed. Hold on, because I can't even get you guys yet. I'm going to have to just start from ground zero. I want to tell you about this New York City case too. So let me. Oh my goodness, who's messaging me? Who's messaging me? All right. Okay. I'm going back in here so I can get you. Okay, now I've got you alive. Okay. So anybody else say anything they want me to check? And yikes, it's scary. They found her without her own clothing. Yeah, that's scary, right? Could be other girls kidnapped. Yeah, but don't you think he just moved there? So maybe he did this from, I don't know how far. I don't think he did stuff there. It seems he just moved there recently, but he's not good at it. Okay, it's good that he's not good at it because he got caught right away, but I don't know. Maybe he did like creepy things, like, hold on a minute. Okay, let's see here. So it says her family is speaking. Let's see what they said. So her family was speaking out. Her aunt, Sena, said, "We are thrilled that she is home and we understand that the outcome is not what every family gets. A huge thank you to the FBI and the New York State Police, all the agencies that were mobilized, and all the family, friends, community, neighbors, and hundreds of volunteers who supported us and worked tirelessly to bring Charlotte home." Okay, so I went through that neighbor, Carol Brown. We talked about her. Let's see here. Police have asked members of the public to come forward with surveillance video from around the time of the abduction. Yeah, so God, that would be interesting, right? They have that. All right, let's go now and see if there's anything else. Okay, we can look at that a little more, but I want to read. Oh, there was we were listening earlier tonight. At least 4 people shot in the active shooter situation at Morgan State University. Did you guys hear that? It's in Baltimore, Maryland. Multiple people were shot on Tuesday on the campus of Morgan State University in Maryland. Baltimore police ordered people in the area and those to avoid the area and those in the area to take shelter in place. Baltimore police say at least 4 people have been shot. So I don't know what's going on with that. So a 32-year-old environmental activist and poet was stabbed to death on a New York street early Monday morning while his girlfriend watched. Ryan Carson and his girlfriend were returning home from a wedding on Long Island at about 4 a.m. So this is something, right? They go to a wedding on Long Island, they're having a great time, return back to the city, and then he's killed, and you never know when's going to happen. Now, this is crazy, okay? So, surveillance footage obtained by the Post shows the couple sitting on a bus stop bench in Bedford-Stuyvesant before they get up and begin walking down the street. Ahead of them, a man begins kicking scooters on the curb. He then turns and shouts at Carson, "What the F are you looking at?" Carson steps between the man and his girlfriend. As the man charges, he yells, "I'll kill you!" And Carson puts up a hand to stop him, urging the man to chill. But the man suddenly pulls out a knife and attacks Carson, who stumbles over the bench he and his girlfriend had been sitting on. The attacker grabs his jacket and stabs him multiple times in the chest. The attacker walks away, but turns back towards Carson's girlfriend, and he spits on her. And then he kicks Carson before storming away. Another woman arrived on the scene and called 911. Carson's girlfriend stayed with him until medics arrived and rushed him to the hospital, but he could not be saved. Carson was a senior solid waste campaign manager at the New York Public Interest Research Group. The group issued a statement saying he was a beloved staffer, colleague, and friend. His engaging personality, his hearty laugh, and wide-ranging intelligence were keys to his success in advancing the causes he deeply cared about in his work and personal life. The organization said Ryan was a consummate team player who would happily undertake the basic spotlight as a leader, campaign manager, and spokesperson. No arrests have been made. Oh my gosh, they didn't even get the guy that killed him. That is horrendous. Let's see if we can find. Disturbing video. They actually have the video. Well, they were waiting for the bus. Wonder. Let's see here. He was stabbed in the Crown Heights neighborhood. On Monday night, more than 100 people gathered for a candlelight vigil to honor Carson's life. Those in attendance say he and his girlfriend had left a wedding and were heading home before the stabbing. You know, it's hard when the person you go to talk about it's hard when the person you go to talk about grief is the one who died, said State Assembly member Emily Gallagher, who is a friend of Carson's. It's been really difficult to comprehend. Let's see. In 2021, Carson walked from New York City to Albany to lobby for safe injection facilities and raised more than $20,000 for the cause, according to a GoFundMe. Let's see. A life full of promise is snuffed out, and the world is a worse place for it, and we'll miss him dearly. Very sad. Now, I don't know how this happens. This right here. A grandfather was arrested after he accidentally shot his 12-year-old grandson in the shoulder while officiating a wedding. Happened in Texas. Michael Gardner, 62, of Odessa, Texas, was set to preside over the nuptials at a hillside event in Denton, Nebraska. It happened in Nebraska, but he's from Texas. On Saturday evening, when he fired a blank round from his revolver into the air. Okay, wow. He was trying to gain everyone's attention after the wedding got to a late start because someone forgot the rings. Can you even imagine that wedding? Wow, that must have been some wedding. What the freak is taking so long? Somebody forgot the rings. Gosh darn it. Now nobody's paying attention. Let me fire my blank into the air. Great. The firearm was a Pieta 1860 snub-nose revolver, and the blank round contained black powder inside the casing with glue. When he decided to cock back the hammer of the revolver, it slipped and it shot his grandson in the left shoulder, causing an injury. That's great, right? Now the wedding's really off to a late start. The boy was in close proximity to Gardner at the time. What we believe is the glue is what injured the child. The boy was transported to an area hospital before being taken to another hospital in Omaha for further treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. We do have the weapon, the ammunition, and the spent casing. Gardner turned himself in on Monday and was arrested on suspicion of felony child abuse due to the seriousness of the injuries. What the county attorney decides to charge him with is up to him. The crime did fit the statute of child abuse. It's just kind of neglectful to take a gun out that has blanks and fire it amongst people. Playing with firearms no matter what, even if they're blanks, bad things can certainly happen. We do not believe he intended to hurt his grandchild, but the act was not very smart. Wow. All right. There was something, hang on one second. We got to talk about the trial. Okay, so I watched the trial today. Did you watch the trial today? Let me get this off and we're going to talk about the trial now. The father was on the stand. I have watched a lot of trials. I have never seen anything like this trial. They are, the lawyers for the family are so unprepared. Okay, they were, half of the time, of the day. I've never seen, they just constantly fight over evidence, over let's have a dismissal, they wanted a mistrial today. It's crazy. Are you guys watching it? So anyway, yeah, I watched the trial today. Which new one did you start? Which new one? Tell me. It's so crazy. It's so crazy, but, here they are, hey, it doesn't say that you didn't want her in the hospital. Oh, well, it's just aggravating. They stop and they start and they stop and they start. What'd you say? He was talking a lot about, it was something interesting that they were going to separate, right? Wasn't that weird? And then she was going to move out, but then she wouldn't get Kyle because she wouldn't have any kids. That was crazy. Let's see what happened here. Oh yeah, they said that the hospital was taking pictures of her in a training bra, and they took covert videos, and then at one time he was getting her something to eat, and they met him down there, and he said, "Can I at least have lunch with her?" And they let him have lunch with her, and then the one lady kept saying, well, like kind of telling him, he said to divorce the wife. And he said the hospital threatened to have him arrested. What else here? Oh, the jury asked the question, was she ever diagnosed with CRPS? And then he answered, yeah, Dr. Kirkpatrick, but there was always like notes on there that maybe it was this psychological issue, and then he said he cannot wait till this is over. I was listening to this while I was biking, okay? Because he wants to get rid of all those pictures. He can't stand seeing it. He hates it. But they started to. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind. I have too many things in my mind. I really do. I have too much stuff on my mind. Oh, they're talking about, that's right, the ketamine. They kept saying, did she give her IVs at home? And he said no. They would go all the way to Palm, I think it was Palm, because I know exactly where it is. It's Palm, it's not Palm Springs, there's Dunedin, Tarpon Springs, and then there's Palm something. My mind is going. But they would go all the way there, from where they were the doctor, and they would go to a CVS, or I think it was a CVS over there, and they would give them syringes with no needles filled with ketamine. And how would they administer this ketamine? Not through an IV. He said they would put it under her tongue, or they then there was another one, they would get it in vials. They'd have to draw it out of the vials and mix it with Gatorade. Oh, but she never gave her an IV? No, they said. And then they were talking about that there was something on the papers about a medically induced coma. He said, we knew you couldn't do a medically induced coma. That's why we went to Mexico. Why would that say that? And what else did they say that she had? Okay, hang on. All right, so what else do we have here? Okay, here we go. Dr. Kirkpatrick was supposed to take the stand on Tuesday, but according to the Kowalski's attorney, he was not feeling well. He was unable to come, so Maya's father took the stand on Monday afternoon after an emotional day of testimony. Let's see here. There was a note that Beta Kowalski said the judge destroyed her family and marriage and caused the family to go bankrupt because he kept her away from Maya. That's in the suicide note. They read two notes. Let's see. I don't know. I'm trying to think about what else do I want to tell you about that, because it really wasn't. It was like they were getting them on. Oh, I know what it was, on the police interview. See, it's coming back to me. I was biking. When they went to get him, he said he went to the cafeteria either for mashed potatoes. He couldn't remember mashed potatoes, or what is the other thing she wanted? Mashed potatoes or some steak or something, he said. And he said, can I have lunch with my daughter or dinner with her daughter, whatever it was? Yes, you can. Then they took him for an interview, and they were saying, did she tell you she was recording that? Nope. He said, you didn't see a recorder in plain sight? Nope. Did she have a firearm on her? Did she afterward? And then they had a bunch of objections with that. Let's see, because there were some things like people were freaking. I remember people freaking in the chat like, come on, Dad, don't do this. You're failing. He'll pull through. It was like a bunch of junk going on. And just talking about like how the records did not document her lesions anymore. And either said that they were self-inflicted, or they didn't even document them anymore, her lesions, or other issues with her health. And they said the father was documenting it, but that he wasn't. He hated to document the really like bad parts. That's why he said, I just want to have it to get rid of it. They talked about the woman, yes, Beatty. She would take her to the chapel and she would stroke her hair and she would kiss her and tell her, I can adopt you, I can be your mother, I'll act like your mother when you're in the hospital. And then Beata had found out about that, and then she was really angry. And so they always keep saying, well, is that just her way, that she's very direct? And so yeah, I mean, I think it's about then, the attorneys for the hospital kept saying, like, well, wait a minute, it doesn't say this on this paper. Wait a minute, you signed this. It didn't say that you wanted to take her out of the hospital. So they were getting them on little things like that. But I don't know. We'll watch and see. It's not, like I said, I'm listening it to while I was riding my bike, but I don't know. It's a very discombobulated trial. It's hard. I've got a lot of things going on, like my brother and stuff, and calls, texts coming in, so my head is not like really right there. Netflix, yes, we did watch that on Netflix, but the whole trial's been just crazy. Anyway, if anybody has anything else to say about that, you can say about that. What's the new one that you started? What'd you start, Barb? Something, tell me. Got so much to do. I have to ship out a bunch of stuff, so if you've ordered something for me, please check your PayPal, because you probably have a request from me, and I'm gonna want to get a lot of that shipped. Not everybody's got something. Kevin, you don't have to worry about anything yet. Sharon, not yet. Let me get to yours stuff. Let's see, who else? Christiane. I have to check up on Christiane. I hope she's okay. And Leanne. Check on that. Okay. I don't know what Barb's new trial is. What is Barb's new trial? Anyway. What time is it? My gosh, it's 3 something already. I've got a bunch of work to do. You're planning to do the Civil War living. Oh, good. The other trial I'm watching is The Boy in the Box in Jupiter, Florida. Oh gosh, Florida again, huh? Both doctors kept their 14-year-old adopted son locked up in the garage. Let me look at that. Boy in the Box trial it is? They were both doctors in Jupiter. Jupiter's a nice area in Florida. My friend lived there. Crazy. Let's see. Wow. West Palm Beach. Opening statements began Tuesday in the trial of a Jupiter man who's accused of locking his adopted son in a box-like structure for hours at a time. Tim Ferreter, 48, is charged with aggravated child abuse, false imprisonment, and an added count of child neglect. Before opening statements began, the Assistant State Attorney, Brianna Coakley, objected to a video that the defense intended to show jurors. Judge Howard Coates heard arguments from both sides and then called a brief recess so that he could view the video. The video was only 5 minutes long. Okay, and let's see. I would say the second half of it includes ring videos that were disclosed by the state and Discovery. Defense attorney Priya Murad told the judge, so the beginning of the video includes some family photos and videos. Okay, let's see what happened today. I'm interested in what happened here. During opening statements, Coakley told jurors that Ferreter's son ran away from home January of 2022, leading Jupiter police to learn about how the 14-year-old boy was living. There wasn't a bedroom for him. There weren't items of clothing. There weren't his toys inside the house. Instead, there was a structure, a small room, box-like structure that was constructed in the garage that didn't have any windows. It had a box spring and a mattress, a bucket in the corner, and a desk. Lovely. Coakley explained to jurors how they would see the video from a Ring camera that was placed in the corner of the box-like structure. Terrible. Hold on a minute, I've got to make this. I think I have to go get my eyes checked. I'm not joking around. My eyes are like really weird. Like the glasses are not, like nothing is helping. Oh, I have to get my teeth cleaned tomorrow, but we will have a sale afterwards. I have to ride my bike early then because the evidence is going to show that the room was not a room that he would come and go as he pleased. He was locked inside from the outside over and over again. During opening statements, defense attorney explained how the boy had been engaging in dangerous behaviors while the family was living in Arizona, and they wanted to keep their toddler safe, so they decided to put a lock on the door of his room. It was for the purpose of monitoring him when they couldn't. But unfortunately, they're in a situation where they can't leave this child unattended. There has to be someone constantly watching him, and they cannot do that as two working adults. So they built a room for the boy in their garage in Arizona once the baby was born, and constructed a similar room for him when they moved back to Jupiter. Both the room in Arizona and the one in Florida had one very big design flaw, and that is that it did not include a bathroom. The boy had been allowed to use the bathroom in the house during the day and use the bucket a handful of times during the night. This was not some big secret life like the state is presenting, said the defense. The people went to doctors. These people went to doctors. These people went to therapists. The schools were emailing them back and forth about the boy's behavior. They had family members and friends see the room in Arizona. In Florida, they were only here for about 4 weeks, right before Christmas, and then school started. Ferreter and his wife, Tracy Ferreter, live in the upscale Jupiter neighborhood of Egret Landing, and they were arrested in February of 2022. Jupiter police said the couple kept their teenage adopted son in an 8x8 box in the garage. Detective Andrew Sharp, who's a 17-year veteran of the Jupiter Police Department, was among those witnesses to testify for the state. Sharp said he first spoke with Tracy Ferreter outside the couple's home on January 30th, 2022, after he was assigned to investigate a missing child. He and Tracy Ferreter were apprehensive about letting him inside the home. Once he was eventually allowed inside the home, he testified that he was directed to another child's bedroom, a Florida room where it appeared the children did their homework, and then the enclosure in question. What was found in the enclosure? Inside the garage of the residence, Sharp said, he noticed that the door appeared to have a deadbolt and then appeared to have a light switch on the exterior of the room outside to the left of the door. He described seeing a box spring and a mattress and some sheets and a small desk with some children's books on it. I recall that I could see something out of the corner of my eye, but I wasn't sure exactly what it was. So when I walked back out of the room, I asked Mrs. Ferreter if I could go back into the room. She allowed me to go back in the room, and when I went in the back, that's when I saw the Ring camera that was in the corner of the room. Tim and Tracy Ferreter are being tried separately. Tracy Ferreter's trial has not yet been set, but she has been sitting behind her husband while watching his trial. Here she is. She looks like someone I know. So you say they're both doctors, Barb? Haven't seen that yet. Okay. Let's see here. That lady looks so familiar to me. Does she look familiar to anybody else? Okay, well, I may tune into that, Barb. I may tune into that and start. Anybody else watching that with Barb? It's hard when you're doing it in two, then it just gets crazy. And tomorrow was such a crazy day. Okay, what was I going to say here? I don't see any of your messages being deleted, Sassy Darcy. It could be that you're putting in words that are not accepted, like Jenna had that problem. I don't see any deleted messages, none at all. I just looked and I scrolled up and looked. It's that it's not, whatever you're putting in there, it's not allowing those words through. There are blocked words. Yes, I know. High 61. That was great that Charlotte Sena was found. That's great news. I just hope that she wasn't terrorized while she was with him, and it makes me very nervous about the clothes changing and all that stuff. Horrible. A man who kidnapped a woman built the same thing because he saw the story. Oh, that I saw that. That was because of this, you're saying? I saw that woman, yeah. So, buttons on a shirt. Let's see. I'm getting a little sleepy. I know. No, we haven't been on very long. I don't see any missing on it. I have to eat an apple. I want another apple. But I have to do the word game. And anybody else have anything? Let's just see if there's anything else to talk about. So we've got things we've got to talk about. I do too. Such a good feeling, a very good feeling. Throw all that. What is this one? Baby can stay with parents. Okay, for the murder of an 81-year-old. Florida police arrested a 23-year-old for the murder of an 81-year-old gate security guard at a senior living community. Wow. People are crazy. Really, really, really are. Really, really. I think that's all right, so let's see what else is going on. What did I think about oh, Savannah Chrisley reveals that her dad, Todd, he's teaching a financial class in prison. Wow, maybe he's getting some tips himself, huh? Not too much going on in celebrity news or anything like that. No, not too much. I don't know. I don't have a phone to blame. A phone to blame for what? Autocorrect? I can't stand the autocorrect. Whenever I do a live on my phone, I never look. I'm like, I type in the title or I say the title, and then I find out it's all crazy. Yeah, who cares? Who cares? Forget about it. No one cares. Forget about it. All right, let's do the. What do we do now? We do the word puzzle now. We do what? What should we do? All right, let's do the word puzzle. Let's do the word puzzle. So I probably have to. I'm so tired. Girl, I'm tired. Oh, I gotta check on something. I have something in the works. What I gotta check on? Give a little checky on the check. Oh, 20 coins. Thank you, White Angel. I got your PayPal. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Deb. I got your PayPal. Thank you. Okay, let's stop this. Uh-oh. Hey, I got 20. Did they give me the 22? Not nice. Not nice. Alright, do the daily puzzle. Do the daily puzzle. This is the daily puzzle? Why is it so little? Oh my goodness. Really? I don't understand why it's so little. This is like the baby version. I don't understand. That was ridiculous. That was absolutely ridiculous. Why did we have a baby puzzle? Did anybody just hear a gunshot? Did anyone just hear a gunshot? That was weird. I just heard it sounded like a gunshot. You heard a gunshot? You did hear a gunshot, Beth? Kevin, you heard a gunshot? You really heard a gunshot. You heard something. Hold on. Hang on. Hold on a minute, please. Okay. I have someone on the job. Got my bulletproof vest on. All right. That was a shot. No, it wasn't the dogs making noise. Okay. All right. We're back to our game. Oh, wait a minute. We did HEP. You guys have had a long time to look at this. Oh, I got one shy. Oh, and icy. Who said icy? Yes, Kevin. Okay. Thank you, Kevin. All right. What's that? That sounded like bottle rockets. I said definitely heard it.
Could have been maybe a tree falling. Cause I mean,
You think it was a tree that fell? No, it was like a gunshot.
You know?
It's like a dead gunshot.
I mean, I just go out here and like just. I'm going anyway.
Huh?
I'm gonna go out there. Hold on a minute, I gotta put my phone on the charger. I can see you, Sassy Darcy. I can see you. I'm telling you, oh my gosh. Gosh, Sassy, I almost had a... You're probably using words that are banned. Sorry. So that's what's probably happening.
Okay. What was that? Did you hear that?
Can't find anything, can't hear. Can't find anything, can't hear anything.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Leave the
Always ready to be safe.
okay.
Safe and sorry.
Safe and sorry. Yep. Better safe than sorry. I used to love that book when I was a kid.
It's not there. As I said, it could be the tree that broke, you know?
I don't know. It sounded like a. Yeah, oh, thank you, I-61. Beth, plot, okay. Alpo, look at this Alpo. Do. Lop of his ears. Hi, Liza. Sassy, if you're trying to say something, just email me. Because obviously, whatever you're putting in there, it's not allowing it. Opal. Do. Hey, Murder Crows, how are you? Murder of Crows, how are you? Okay, hi. Hi, 61. Paw. That's a name. Is that kind of a staple in those cases? Ado. Much ado about nothing, right, Margot? Thank you, Margot. Thank you, Margot. Thank you, Margot. Lou. Loonies. Pal of mine. Okay. 2 more. Duel. So it'd be. Uh-oh. What was that? Okay, Jimmy? Who is that? Who's walking? No, you can't do. Oh, like a jeweler's loop? No, that was an extra word. Good try. Good try, good try, staying alive. Lupa. I think I tried that, didn't I? I did. Ludo? Hey, Ludo? What the heck kind of word is that? Thank you, Murder of Crows. Thank you, Murder of Crows. Thank you, Mrs. Torrance. Thank you, thank you. Oh, special level, guys. Okay, let's see. I can't think. My mind is going. It's going on me. No, it's not. No, it's not. There it is. There it is. Thanks, Beth. Alright, I think I'm going to start into Zoom and then I'm going to go to bed. I'm exhausted and I've got a big day tomorrow. I've got to ride my bike early because I have to go to the dentist at 5:30. It's crazy. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Everybody be good. Love you guys. God bless. Prayers. And see you tomorrow. Everybody be good. Google's gonna get you for spamming? I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Alright, we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, I don't have this on. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Alright. How do I end? I have to end you guys over here. Okay. So that's that. Oh, no. My internet is going to go out somewhere. We're so lucky between 12 and 6, and I can't believe we weren't interrupted. So that was wonderful. Okay, guys, I'm going to go